Hey agents, it's Manny. Division 2 has been out for about 3.5 years already, and it seems like there's been a lot of recent influx of new players, which is great. With the influx, there are also a lot of questions, specifically about what to do first once you hit 40. Over the last 3.5 years, Massive has added a ton of new systems to Division 2 and can be a bit overwhelming at first, especially knowing what to work on. So in this video, I'll break down the order of things I would do, given my current game knowledge, if I was starting a fresh account. Before we start, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and ding that notification bell so you know when there's new videos. And if you're looking for someone to game with, you can find me and other players in the Militia Discord server. The link is in the description below. All right, so the very first thing we're going to do is grind some gear. All right, there's two reasons we're going to do that. One is to put together a build. I do have your very first build video. I'll put a link to it in the top right hand corner. I'll also put it in a link in the description below. It's kind of a good build to base it off. It's what I'm going with right here. I'm starting with. And the second reason is to start filling out your recal library. Now, how do we grind gear? Well, we head on over to Countdown. Countdown is by far the best way of grinding gear. So open your M to open your map, head over to the right, and you can find the Countdown mode right here. Hover over this, you can hit H for target a loot on PC. And you can actually go ahead and select whichever loot you want to target. So for example, Negotiator's Dilemma is what we're focusing on right there. Now, hover over it and hit G to open the menu up. You're going to hit Start Matchmaking. And just escape out, and pretty soon you are going to be invited to a group. Just hold Z down to accept. There are a couple things I want you to do while in Countdown. The first is, since you don't have good gear, you're going to be a hard carry. So don't worry about killing enemies so much as instead make sure you are helping complete objectives like hacking computers and capping points and things like that. And then the second thing is not to bother looking at anything picking up. Don't sit there and try to say, oh, is this a good piece? Is that a bad piece? No, just grab everything. You can look at it when you're back at the White House. Just complete objectives. All right, so we just finished Countdown, and now it's time to look through our loot and see what we want to keep and what we want to get rid of. All right, so first things first, let's go through. Remember, we want to negotiate a dilemma. I kind of found a few pieces earlier. I ran it before. So let's first go through and look at things. So let's look at our weapons first. I have a level 39 classic M1A. Now, the Baker Dozens is the name version of the M1A. So we'll actually equip that and we'll get rid of this one. Now, when we go down here, we look. We can actually see that this one right here, this M16A2, has actually a max rolled headshot damage, right? So we're going to take that one, right? So we're going to take this, we're going to hit R, and we're going to mark for recal, because we're going to use that roll in our recal library. We're going to max it out. We're actually only going to go get max rolls for our recal library. Now, I could put like crit damage on there and get up to 14%, but there's a couple things we want. We want to actually max out our recal library, but we also want to get some resources so that we can optimize the gear we have to have this headshot damage maxed out. All right, so now we have another one here. Its health damage is maxed out, so we're going to take this one and mark for recal as well. So now we have headshot damage, health damage. Interesting enough, the SIG 716 has damage to armor, which is not headshot damage or health damage, and it's maxed out as well. You can tell it's maxed out because right there. So we're going to actually mark that one for recal as well. Glory Days is a named assault rifle. I don't really care about it. I mean, you could keep this if you want. I'm actually going to, it's got perfectly nearsighted. I'm actually going to grab it for the headshot damage. So we're going to take this and I'm going to mark for recal. Now this infantry MG5, interesting enough, it does nothing. It has nothing that's maxed out, but we do want the talents as well. So we'll actually take this and we'll mark for recal because it's a talent, like one we don't have, just to fill it out. All right, now that we have everything, I went ahead and just did everything. Now they have things marked for recal, things marked for trash. We're just going to deconstruct all the junk, and we get a whole bunch of resources. And as I said before, you could sell this stuff to, you could actually do a couple things. One, you could actually put those low attributes into your recal library if you really cared. You could sell them for E-creds, or like you just did what I did, and you could deconstruct them. I recommend deconstructing them because you don't have a very high shade level. You're going to need these resources to actually optimize your gear later on once we start filling out our recal library. So I'd suggest, my suggestion is to deconstruct it. You can do whatever you want. I say deconstruct it. It's easy enough to get E-creds by doing bounties and stuff like that. I can show you that quickly. So that's that. Let's head on over to the recal library and get that done. All right, so here we are at the recal library. Let's open it up. You have expertise, optimization, recal station. This is how you recal things, but here's what we want: recal library. We actually want to go in here, and you can see anything with a green arrow means that you can actually apply something to the library. So let's look at rifles first, right? So can be improved core attributes. Rifle damage can be maxed out. So let's see what we got. Actually, no, rifle damage is already maxed out, so we're fine there. Crit hit damage can be maxed out, but we don't have it maxed out. We do have headshot damage, damage armor, and health damage. Be careful in here because I can do these, and it'll take this, will be extracted. I don't want to. So what we're gonna do is instead we're gonna go over here. Now damage to armor, you can see like the green arrow shows you what we have in our backpack. So I hit this, and we'll extract this, holding X for PC. And now we have maxed out damage to armor. Look down there, health damage. Same thing, we can extract this as well. So let's go look at, I believe it was LMGs we had one. So we could take, and this is what I was talking about talents. You go in here, preservation, take this, and we're gonna extract it. And there you have it. Now we have this in our library. You can tell it's lit up. So we can do this. I actually just want to show you this headshot damage. We're going to extract this, even though I was going to do eyeless. We'll extract this one. It's headshot damage. And it's at 10%. And you can see it's not maxed out. And you can see the difference is not orange. It's at 10% instead of, I believe, what, 12% is headshot damage max. So that's all you got to do. Go through all your stuff. Anything as a green arrow means you can actually contribute. I suggest, honestly, doing your weapon damage first. But do not forego a full attribute over this. So, for example, we have the attribute here. Headshot damage is maxed out. So we're going to apply this one. And that's it. So just take care of everything. And eventually you'll get all your talents, all your attributes. Body armor has talents, and backpacks have talents as well. So you want to get those. All right, that's it for your library. All right, so you've been grinding Countdown for a while and probably getting a little bored doing that. So you want to do something different. My suggestion is to start grinding out your blueprints. Now, how do we do that? Well, control points, all right? So level 1 control points, these are normal control points. Just give you crafting materials and field recon data, nothing special. But if you press Z for global settings, change your difficulty, select challenging, hit escape, and then we're gonna hit F to confirm settings and apply changes, and we'll switch it to challenging difficulty. All right, so we go back in the map, we check our level 3 control point, which is challenging level, and you get crafting materials, crafting blueprint, and field recon data. That's what we need. Now, you might be saying, well, I don't have good enough gear. I didn't get all my gear yet. I'll tell you what, the gear I'm running right now is completely unoptimized. It's pieces I picked up. I actually made this piece before I did Liberty Island. It has 4% assault rifle damage. This is that Baker's Dozen piece I picked up earlier. A couple 4 pieces of Negotiated Dilemma. It's not even that great. And this is good enough to take down a challenging control point. I wouldn't do heroic right now, but challenging is fine with your Revive Hive and your shield. All right, so along with those control points and getting crafting blueprints, when you have a good set of gear, what I want you to do is come over here, look at your specializations. Now, if you're like me and you actually boosted your character, you will have they're already unlocked anyway, but they're maxed out. They have 165, so you can see 155 out of 10. This one I haven't applied any points, and this one I haven't applied any points. So I have 165 points for all the 3 of these, but the last 3, Firewall, Gunner, and Technician, are not unlocked yet. So what I want you to do is, once you have all your points in the first 3, Sharpshooter, Survivals, and Demo, if you haven't boosted this, how you get these points is basically having one of these guys selected. For example, I have Demolition. Say I only had 10 points, I didn't have 155 selected. What you would do is actually run missions, open world activities, and things like that. And anytime you get a shade level, you'll get 3 points towards your specializations. It's much easier to get specializations now than it was in the past, right? So I want you to max out these 3 first, specifically Demolition, Survivals, and Sharpshooter. Max those guys out 165. Then once you get your, and that's actually, you should do this, you should make sure you have one of these selected, and you probably will have a specialization selected anyway. While you're doing Countdown and stuff like that, you'll start to get specialization points as you do different things in the game. So once you hit 165 on any one of these, switch to the next one and activate it. So make sure you activate this one so that now you can actually work on a different one. But like I said, if you were like me and you actually boosted, these first 3 are maxed out. However, the last 3 that were added later, you actually have to unlock them. So what you got to do is hit G to get started. So now it tells you have to unlock, there's 5 different stages that you have to do each thing. So if I want to do this one, I have to set enemies on fire, kill enemy scorchers, and kill enemies closer than 7 meters away. So you got to do 10, 10, and 3. Then this stage is done. Then you go to the next stage, next stage, next stage. And then once you do the final stage, you have unlocked the firewall one. This is the same thing. Hit G. there's 5 stages to finish. It'll tell you which ones to do. You know, use mounted guns to kill enemies. That's actually pretty easy. Kill Roach and Bank Headquarters, only completed on normal or higher difficulty. You can't do it on story, obviously. And same thing with this. Technician, once again, 5 steps. So you'll want to work on these 2 once you have your good gear. And once you, I say, max these out first. It's not going to actually take you that long to max them out when you're doing CPs and you're actually just starting to get shade levels. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, last thing I want to talk about the recal library is the recal station, I should say, is ignore expertise for now. All right, don't even worry about it. Completely ignore it. Consider it doesn't exist right now until you're much later on in your grind for gear. Right, we want to focus on recal library, so that way you can then use a recal station, recal things, and optimization. All right. So the last thing about expertise is that I do have a video that tells you how to earn your proficiencies and expertise. You will earn them as you're going through the game, equipping gear, running with gear. You'll earn expertise in it. So don't, like I said, just don't worry about it right now until later on. First of all, just make sure you fill this up first. All right. Then what I want, once you have a good set of gear, I do not. Once you have a good gear that you're really good at and you can actually take down enemies pretty easy, I actually want you to start working on another set of gear. The other set of gear is, and I'll actually put a link to the video in the top right-hand corner, it is how to grind shade levels quickly, all right? Because we're gonna wanna max out our watch. I mean, I'm a level 1 right now. I haven't done anything. We wanna hit at least 1,000 because we wanna max our watch out. And if nothing else, higher than that, because down here it's locked for me. It's scavenger resources, and you can use them for to actually get resources and things like that, like polycarbonate, steel, titanium, and things like that. All right, printer filaments, things that'll help you optimize and recalibrate. So you want to work on the next thing after that is after you've done your recal library. It doesn't think your recal library does not have to be completely filled. Make sure you have your weapon damages maxed out for your gear and for your weapons. Try to get a lot of the talents. You'll actually fill it up really quickly, and once you do that, start working on the second build. I'll have it in the description below as well. Work on that one. It's actually a fire starter build, and you can actually, once you get that build going and it's optimized pretty well, you'll be able to actually solo floor 10s, which is a shade level grind. Like I said, check that video out. It's really good for that. I know I just grazed over a bunch of topics, but I want to give you guys a starting position, all right? And also remember, this is your game. You play it the way you want to. Don't let me or anyone else tell you what you must do. And as always, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button below and leave a comment if you have any questions. Or if you think I might have missed something. If you'd like to see more content like this, then smash that subscribe button. You can also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Maniocrity, where I stream Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'd be happy to answer any questions live on stream. Until next time, agents, happy hunting.